Greetings, friends. Welcome to TLC Coach Talks. What we have today on our show is Gunasekaran Adhiseshan. He is a head of franchise for TLC India and TLC Global. He's also a startup coach, and his book was inaugurated by none other than Jack Canfield. Let's welcome Gunasekaran Adhiseshan on the show. Welcome, Guna.
Thank you, Nimish, and thank you for planning such TLC coach talks so that a lot of coaches can voice out and share their experience. And kudos to you, Preeti and Viresh, for coming up with this.
Thank you, Guna. In fact, I've since I've met you, I've always felt so amazed that most of the people are still, flirting with girls or studying or doing nothing, wasting their parents' money. And you started your own business at the age of 19 years. Now, how did that come about, Guna?
Actually, when I was into my second year of college, where I was doing my BSc Computer Science, my family was under bad financial situation. I had to do something where at least I should take care of my own expenses, the college fees and the travel expenses, etc. So that was the situation. I was looking for a part-time opportunity, and all that I wanted to earn was just 2,000, 3,000 rupees a month, which can take care of my expenses. I was looking for opportunities and I couldn't join many because my college was outside the city and I have to travel at least 2 hours to reach to the city. And every company which wanted somebody in work in part-time, they asked to come around 4:30 in the evening, which was impossible for me. So I was looking for something else where I can go by 6:30, 7 and start in the evening after my college. And I had one company had an opportunity where I have to promote e-learning products, which are trainings and courses done outside India. And in India, they don't do it live from the top speakers like Brian Tracy, Anthony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, and all those speakers. So that was a package which I have to promote it in the e-learning method. And I found it interesting and I can work in my flexible hours. That's how I started. I would say I was looking for something else and something else came up. But
probably you were destined to become a coach because you started in an e-learning company. So God knew there's going to be Corona sometime in the future and you'll need that e-platform experience. God works in a mysterious way. People say that.
So now I can connect that. It's a full circle now because back then there was no YouTube, there was no Facebook, nothing. The maximum technology which we had was Yahoo Chat, and that's how we used to also sometime prospecting. And I started that, and it was a turning point in my whole life because I wanted to make just 2,000-3,000 rupees, but I started making 20,000-25,000 a month, and in just first 1 year, by just parallelly doing my college and this part time, I made more than 3.5 lakhs in that 1 year. And as a college student, how will you feel if you make
that's what I'm saying. All those youngsters who are watching just now, don't waste your time in college. Do something like this and you can become a great coach like Guna in coming years.
So that was my full motivation, and that gave me the real picture of the inner potential which we have and the power of entrepreneurship, power of looking the way the success, looking the way the money is, and everything changed from then onwards. And I continue to do. That's how I started. It just started like a normal thing, but it was a roller coaster for me. And my students around me, my classmates, was completely looking at me on different because what this guy is doing. Suddenly he joined some part time. Now he's earning a lot of money. And I bought a car and I went in my final year to college in car, and nobody expected that to happen. And it all happened because I was trying to be the best in my own inner potential. I just tried to bring it out. And thanks to all my mentors, gurus who guided me on those days to just go in this direction, and you have a lot of potential. Just do this. You can do this. And I have attended few trainings. I should say the power of coaching is also something which I experienced because I had few leaders and who actually helped me understand what is that product, what is the market, what should I do, how to promote it, and how can I make a lot of money, and how can I help people. So these things were taught to me just because of that few coaching sessions which I took initially for that business as a business development coaching. So I should say yes, those teachers, mentors really helped me.
And how many of your friends asked you for loan since you were making 25,000 in those many years? On a serious note, Guna, I mean, it's so imperative, and even in today's world, that even if you're in a business, you need a mentor or a coach to guide you, because he's the outside guy, third party looking into your business, rather than, it's like, business is like our child. At least I take all my businesses like my child. And for me, all my child are perfect. It's my neighbor or my well-wisher or my brother is going to tell me, boss, something is going wrong with your child. So you need that coaching and mentor, and is the industry, I think, which is growing today. Now, Guna, since you started at 19, I'm sure you've not stopped at one business. So how many businesses do you have, if you don't mind me asking that question?
Yeah. I'm into different businesses now. What actually happened is when I started that business, in between, after first 2-3 years, I also got an opportunity to talk in front of an audience of 2,000 people in an auditorium, where I have to explain about certain product services. Very, very, very short presentation. It's just few-minute presentation, but I was not ready at that time. I was completely shivering seeing those many people, and I was not really ready for that. And I tried to do something, but I stumbled and I didn't do it well. And that is when I understood, okay, so talking in front of a big group is not an easy thing. But eventually, thanks to the opportunities which I got one after another, where I got a lot of speaking opportunities, slowly I understood, okay, it can be improved by talking again and again and again and again. And eventually, I started becoming a trainer for the same business. And not only that, I started few other businesses, and everywhere, when I analyze that, I play the role of a coach or a mentor or a trainer in all my businesses. That's something I love. And I do all the other things. I delegate or I outsource. I somehow make others do it. But what I do in all the other businesses also is the same. So what I did is I got into real estate business. Now I'm in real estate for the last 9 years. And again, my main work there is to train the sales team or do presentations. That is what the core thing which I was doing, because I was my vice president marketing in that organization, and I was completely into that. And again, I started my own coaching after observing all these things. And then I started coaching people on startup, because I want more people to become entrepreneurs. Because the more the entrepreneurs are, the more people are going to get job opportunities. So I launched my book in 2019, and that was a vision which was set in 2017, that I have to help a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of coaches by getting into coaching. And as a process, as an initiative of that, I launched my book. And then I ventured into, I actually got learning from TLC. I'm one of the first students to get learning from TLC. This is the time where I can pay my gratitude to the founder of TLC, Murli Sundaram, who not only coached me in TLC, even before that, I got a lot of learnings from him. So, and eventually I got into TLC, and I started it as a business as well. And now I'm head of franchise operations and training for TLC. And I also have an art school where we help children for enhancing their creativity through arts and crafts. And I'm also doing my real estate business. I'm also into my startup coaching, and also personally on a one-to-one basis, I'm helping business owners on their business growth. So these are different things which I'm into. But if you observe in all these things, one thing which is common is talking, speaking, coaching, training. This is what I love, and that's how all these business are happening for
In
me, right?
fact, Guna, you nailed it when you said when you do so many businesses, you actually have delegated or outsourced. And this is the one thing, even as you know, I'm also a business efficiency coach. Also in real estate industry for last 32 years, director at 3 companies, my own 2 companies. And people say, how do you do this? I said, best, delegate. Don't fear that somebody learn and take away your business. They are not going to. I mean, we also learned from somebody, and then we became an entrepreneur. So delegating and outsourcing, and that's, I think, one of the key things that you and your startups require. In fact, even in coaching, where at TLC, we teach you how to actually give out some work outsourced, so that you can have time to do a bigger flame model and other things that we do, as to how you actually can expand your coaching business. It's so very imperative. In fact, the other day when we were talking, Guna, and if you don't mind me calling you Guna, because I lovingly call you Guna all the time,
Please
you spoke so much about journaling, and it amazes me. I've tried a couple of times. I've failed miserably. Probably I'm a lazy bum. So, but I understand the importance. If you journal it and put everything down, you can actually create a brilliant course or a marketing material from there. So what's the kind of journaling that you do, Guna?
Okay. So the daily habit which is there for me is journaling. And my typical day starts with the badminton, and then I have fixed schedules. Most of my meetings or trainings, which is decided well in advance, so nothing to think what to do today. Everything is already calendared, and I also try to watch at least one or two movies or series, or at least part of that movie or series on a daily basis. And by the end of the day, one thing which I do for sure is journaling. And there are a lot of layers which I've added to this journaling. And but initially when I started this in 2006, 2007. I started tracking all my personal expenses and the business expenses. That's how I started. I have an habit of writing it every day, and making a note of how much expenses today and what I did for what. Even if it is 20 rupees, 10 rupees, 5 rupees, I still record that. That's how I started. Then slowly I started adding more layers to that, and where I started acknowledging the best things happened on that day. I started acknowledging the people and things which actually helped me to do something on that day positively. And I also started rating my own day. Out of 10, how do I rate my day? Today, how was today? Is it 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10? How was it? So sometimes when I write 5, I feel really bad. Okay, today I think I'm not contributed much. And that is one layer. And the second layer, one more layer which I added to that very recently, that is from last year. All these things I'm doing for 14, 15 years. But one thing which I recently added is called a productivity breakup, which I started last year. What I do is I divide all the time allocation, whatever time I have to allocate into some 9. So how much time I've spent in each area. In my first business as this particular role, as an head of franchise, how much time I've spent. As a vice president, how much of time I've spent. I have other business called Tamil coaching, and I coach Tamil entrepreneurs. So how much time I'm spending on that, and how much time I'm spending to my family, and how much time I spend on my fitness, my health, etc. So like this, I started bucketing.
I
I
think
was
Guna,
casually
we need to do a absolute course on journaling, because I'm flabbergasted. I'm bamboozled. The kind of an amount of journaling that you do. I mean,
Okay,
I'm
but
sure you're so used to it.
all this will take 5 to 10 minutes, but
That's what
it
I
is.
was coming to, Guna. That for you, you've got so used to it that probably it doesn't take you more than 5-10 minutes. But listening to it, like I was saying, wow, how much. But I understand at the same time, I understand the importance of putting that down and writing that diary. In fact, a lot of people write affirmations, and a lot of people, say you should write affirmations. I feel along with the affirmations, you should do this kind of journaling. So not only we know how the day has gone, in fact, we can improve the next day. I think, Guna, we need to do on a public demand. I'll make sure I become the leader of that group.
Because
We'll have to do the journaling.
Even I got a lot of realization after doing that, because I was doing it from last April, and after December 31st, what I did is I started analyzing, okay, how much of time is going in this, going in this. I started accumulating all the data, and I have a percentage, and that gave me a lot of clarity where I need to focus, where am I wasting time. And sometimes I saw that now the business is happening in both in WhatsApp and Zoom. So my WhatsApp time is increased now 4 to 5 hours a day. So I thought, okay, I have to go to WhatsApp little lesser so that I can be more productive. And these kind of realizations can only come when we record. And I love measuring everything, the time,
even I have a tool, Guna, when I teach our entrepreneurs about time audit, because I find hardly any people do actually time audit. That how have they spent each half hour each day and then monitor it. But this kind of a journaling is next level. I think I've been doing that time audit in my mind, because I've been doing for 15-20 years, so that the whole time audit happens now automatic. But this I definitely want to try. And as I said, I need a course on this. In fact, this gets me to another question, Guna. Like I said, I do a lot of mistakes. Every coach, every entrepreneur, every man makes mistakes in their life. I want, with the so much experience that you have, I want you to pinpoint at least one, if possible. one mistake that coaches should definitely avoid making?
A lot of mistakes, especially when it comes to coaches. But one mistake which I have to tell you is don't look for perfection, because I was one person who was looking to try everything perfectly, do it everything properly, etc. Yes, that is good, but not for everything. For certain things, you need to just go with the flow. You can't wait for the perfection. And this is one mistake which I was doing again and again and again. And then slowly I started changing myself. It is okay if I have a progress, slight progress, it is fine, even if it is not perfect. Let me try and do this. That is one thing, one mistake which I was doing for years, but then I slowly started adapting, and now I'm not looking for perfection in most of things I see that, okay, let's get started and we can course correct it with the feedback, with the suggestions which comes from others or my own improvisations, etc. So let's get started. That's the mindset which I got
That's
after.
what Guru Murli taught us in TLC, because
Yes,
I'm also very
exactly.
perfectionist.
Exactly. When I
It's
was
good.
writing my book, he told me the same, because he was the one who pointed out, no, you're looking for more perfection. That is why you're taking more time for your book. Because I was writing, and each chapter I was taking so much time when I wrote my book. And that is when he said, no, don't look for more perfection. Even if you get satisfied today, spending hours and hours of book, after 2 years, you will feel you would have written better. So don't wait for it, go for it.
Correct.
If you wait, things will get delayed. So just take action. Don't look for perfection. So this
That's what
was
I mean.
a mistake
I was
which
saying
I was
Guru Murli
always.
taught us that version 1.0 is better than version 0.0.
Exactly, yes.
Go for 1.0 and then keep it. And I also, I mean, I use that with a lot of people now, metaphor that if Samsung and Apple were iPhone were looking for the perfect phone, they would not have launched so many series. Every year they improve on it. So if such big organizations keep improving every year, why we should wait for something which is coming perfect? I fully agree there with you. Go start with something, and that makes a lot of difference. I mean, Guna, this again brings me to another questions, that there would be so many mistakes and lessons that you've learned from all those mistakes that have impacted on how you function today. So what are those kind of lessons that you've learned which has impacted your functioning today?
Some of the key lessons, if we have to mention quite a few, I have a lot of lessons learned from many, and I think it is all a combination of what we learn and then we reproduce and we help others and we grow in our business. So if you have to quickly mention, yes, one that I mentioned, don't look for perfection, from Murli Sundaram. That was one of the best learning which I've got. And to mention the other mentor who was mentoring and who's also guiding me for the last 15, 16 years, Mr. Surendran of Success Gyan. The one thing which he mentioned is empower and inspire others. That's the only thing you need to do. You empower your team, you empower your students. That's what you need to do, so that they can go and create magic outside. So empower and inspire, that is again one key lesson which I learned. And again, from our own founder Murli Sundaram, I learned delivering 10x value. Just deliver as much as possible. And he is one best example for that. And we all know that, we all watch for it. And the same thing is what I learned. Give, if you are committed to do something, try to do 10 times of that. Then things will go like magic. So that is again one lesson. These are some of the key lessons which I always remember and make sure I do this in whatever I do. Whether I'm empowering, whether I'm looking for perfection, then I should avoid, and whether actually I'm inspiring people and delivering 10x value. These are certain things which I again and again make sure it's happening with whatever initiatives I've taken.
It's like, giver's gain. Like you sow one seed into the soil and it'll give you 1,000 seeds. It's giver's gain kind of a thing. So give
Yeah,
out more.
the philosophy of Ivan Meissner and BNI, yes, it actually impacted a lot in that giving attitude. After joining BNI, give unconditionally. I should thank BNI and Ivan Meissner even for that, because they registered this so strongly every week, every time when we attend a meeting. That is again and again programmed that you have to give unconditionally, and
In fact, that reminds me of our pledge that we take. Even today, when I went for a meeting and I took the pledge, it's so empowering when you talk about I have to be an entrepreneur. And most of the coaches, unfortunately, Guna, don't take them as a businessman, as an entrepreneur. They don't in fact take coaching as a business. That's one of the biggest drawback, and we have that as our pledge that I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, amazing. And Guna, on this, because the coaches don't take themselves seriously as an entrepreneur and they don't treat it as a business, most of the coaches cry about not getting consistent leads, not getting, even if they get leads, they don't get high paying leads. So what is that one marketing strategy that, or, just a brief, that strategy that they can use that so that they can get fairly consistent leads of a fairly high paying clients, so that they can, actually feel, yeah, they are doing something as a coach.
See, I completely agree with what you just said. Yes, coaches don't see it as a business, and sometimes even business owners who see business as a business also struggle to market. So what is the problem is, when we want to ask somebody for money or we have to market, we hesitate to ask money. But we are solving a problem, we are adding value to others, and what's wrong in asking money is what we need to think as an entrepreneur, and especially as a coach. The problem is every coach thinks that I'm doing this for passion. How can I ask for money? How can I make it commercial, etc.? I want to communicate this message to each and every coach, or even if you would like to become a coach in your life, this is one message which I want to give to you, that if you really want to impact people, if you want to impact thousands and thousands and thousands of people, market yourself, make it business, have commercial setup in your business so that you can reach thousands and thousands of people. But if you only want to impact only 10 people, 20, 30, 40 people, you don't need to market yourself. You don't have a business model. You need not do that commercially. You can do that as a social service. You can do it for 30, 40 people, 50 people, whenever you have time, and you can stop with that. But if you really want to help more people, only if you make it a business model oriented, then you can actually impact more people. So all those big leaders, any visionary, any entrepreneur, any successful entrepreneur or a successful coach, now if they are making a lot of money, but that is not the reason why they are making money, it is just because commercial, just because of business model. No, they have a vision of impacting a lot of people. The side effect is making money. That's what is happening for every successful coach. The focus should be on how many thousands I can impact and work accordingly. If I have to impact that many people, then I have to start with this. You can't just do without having a business model. You can't just inspire thousands and thousands of people.
So and one thing, Guna, very famous in our India, anything given free has no value.
Correct.
But even a stupid suggestion or guidance that you give for 1,000 rupees, they'll value it because there's an energy exchange. Now, another thing that I believe very strongly is the energy exchange. Moment that energy exchange happens, both are serious about it. The one who's learning and the one who's teaching, both become very serious. So I think it's very rightly said, Guna, that you need to have that kind of a mindset that, yes, I am selling. It's like doctors and lawyers, and they are also doing humanitarian work. But see the amount of money doctors charge. I mean, we are going to charge probably 1/10 of half of what they are charging. Then why we should feel ashamed about asking it?
I give the same example of to many. Like, what if you have the remedy for COVID and you have only 100 kits which can cure patients. But if you give it for free, you can help 100 patients. But if you charge money from them, you can create another 300 such kits. Will you charge money or give it for free? Simple. You will charge money and make 300. And then you will charge money, you will make 1,000. And that is how you help people.
And that's how the whole...
charge. I don't want to charge, which means it will stop at 50 or 100 and you are killing all the others. So it's exactly the same.
That's how the whole COVID serum went around the world, because people charge for it. Nobody gave it to you free. Even government, when they gave us free, actually it has gone from our pocket.
Correct.
Because we are paying for it ultimately with the taxes and all. Correct. So there's nothing.
There's no have the divine strength, divine power to help someone to solve their problem. As a coach, we have got the divine gift. Something is there, some message is there which will help others. So it is our moral responsibility to bring it out and help people. If you have that power and if you're not helping people, then it is not right. What you're doing is not right. If you have something which can help others, bring it out and create courses,
do as many as you want,
coaching, and do as many as possible.
And in this, Guna, there's again, I mean, you You're very smart. You lead me from one question to another, which pops in my mind. You make it so open-ended at the end that I get some question in my mind about it. The other way of reaching thousands and thousands of people is by writing a book. And in a way, you become immortal. Because you may go tomorrow, your book is always going to be there. And now with the blockchain and all that, you've actually going to become immortal with your IP address and rights and everything. So why is it for coaches, if you can explain? Because a lot of people have asked me also, but I don't want to write a book. I said, you need to write a book. But before I say anything, I want you to explain all those viewers, beautiful viewers who are watching us just now, is why is it so important to write a book to be a very successful coach? I think even you need that, even if you want to be a very successful entrepreneur. But I would like you to just tell us from the basis of coaches today.
I was doing a lot of trainings, coachings for years and years and years. But when I decided to uh, impact 100,000 coaches and 100,000 entrepreneurs, that is when I started thinking, how can I reach to more people? And then I understood marketing is something which is basic and which is important for any coach or an entrepreneur. And we have to do a lot of marketing, which will actually help our clients to choose the right option, the right coach, the right business, the right product, the right service. So we need to market ourselves. And in today's world, advertisement alone won't work. We have to do a marketing called education marketing. You have to give a lot of value to people, which will help them to identify the experts among all the so-called coaches. There will be thousands of coaches for a same domain, but there will be very few coaches who are really experts, who really can transform you. Now, how do you find them? The way they deliver their value through the education marketing. When everybody is doing, you will be easily able to identify, okay, this is the coach who is the right fit for me. Let me go and start taking the lessons from him. Let me take the coaching from him. So we need to use this medium called education marketing. And how can we do this? We can do email marketing, a daily email marketing. You can do Facebook video marketing, Instagram reel marketing. Just give valuable information to people and don't hold on to the information. Give everything you know for free. And then if they want to implement that, if they need your help, automatically they are going to come to you instead of going to any competitors around, because you've added the maximum value. But a lot of coaches do this mistake of not sharing anything. Hey, if I share this free, and then how do I make money? I will not share for free, but share a lot of information for free so that it will be an easy way for the audience to assess you and come towards you. And like this, we have a lot of marketing, the YouTube marketing, LinkedIn marketing. You can post videos, you can write blogs, etc. But the best thing among all these things is writing a book, because you have to position yourself in your own industry among all the competitors. Thousands and thousands of people in your own city are in the same domain. But how many of them are authors? We can just count them. Very few, 1% or less than 1%, not even 1%. So when you're an author, audience will search for you and they will reach out to you because you position yourself as an author. But at the same time, you need to add value. That will only attract clients to you. But if you give value, they'll stay with you forever and they are ready to learn from you and grow with you. So authoring will help you to position yourself as an expert, and people will come to you and they will just find you among the crowded market. That's the reason why we need to author a book, is what I think. And it happened in my life. After authoring book, I was invited as a chief guest in many colleges, many schools and companies and entrepreneurship cells, etc., where I went and I promoted and I just promoted the message that why people should become entrepreneur, why people should become a coach, why they have to inspire and help others. All these things happened after I wrote my first book and launched, otherwise not. So author a book and you will have a lot of magic happening around you.
And I think, Guna, they can go and pick up any successful coach's name around the world. Correct. They would have at least one book under the name.
Right. Yes.
Many have multiple books, like Tony Robbins has written so many, and other people have written so many books and all. But all the famous coaches, all the successful coaches, I think one common denominator would be They all have a good book written in their name. And Guna, wouldn't this act again as a brilliant lead magnet for me? If you really put in nice, uh, what do you call scanners and all those things inside, where people can QR code and scan and meet you while reading the book. Wouldn't
Exactly.
that
Today
work
we
as a
are in the
lead magnet?
technology world where it is not that they have to read the book and they have to search for you. You can add QR code, you can add some links, etc. Where when they are reading the book, if they love to catch up with you and if they want to interact with you, you can give some contact information through the QR code link, etc., where they can reach out. And from
Correct.
my book, I've got a lot of people reached out to me just because of my book. They reached out to me. They explored the courses which I have. They explored the one-to-one sessions which I have, and they've taken a lot just because of the book. So that is what can
Well,
happen when you
that's
author a
what I
book.
did, Guna, again in the book, which my 5-hour workday book, which released this month. I put a QR code where my whole link tree is there. So you can see my whole business if you bought the book for the first time. And there are so many templates which are giving them free. Okay, you can download the original template.
Correct.
And for that, I'm asking for their number and their email ID. And if they like the template, they would take it, correct?
Exactly.
I've got a lead in my source, which I would not have got otherwise. So
And
even
it's
book,
a lifetime lead magnet for you.
correct.
And
The
because
book
it's
becomes,
one-time effort and then it's there forever.
I mean, there are so many benefits of having the book written about all these things.
Right.
And this again takes me, Guna, that people talk so much about marketing, coaching, and all those things. And there are a few people whom I met. They said, Nimish, is there a future as a coach in India? And I want you to address that question, that where the coaching industry's future is in India for next 10 years.
Okay, actually speaking, now it is booming really in India, and it is just the tipping point that this industry is getting started. But the one good thing which we have is the super subject, super content is there with Indians. But the worst thing which we do is we don't know how to package it. All the Western countries, all the other countries, they know how to
Roti we
package it.
used to take, and now it has become a Frankie. Vada pav has become burger, and they charge double.
Exactly. They know how to package, and that's why the training and coaching industry in other countries started maybe 20, 30 years before. But for us, this is a great opportunity because Indians are now learning how to package it. And they are very good at it right now. And we see a lot of Indian trainers rocking like anything right now. So the training industry is just getting started in India, and it is going to have immense growth. The reason behind is now any individual is actually looking for a coach for everything and anything around his life. Earlier, we used to go only to gym and just come back. Now we go to gym and we also have a personal trainer, a fitness trainer who personally guide us on how do we, what kind of exercises we have to do, what not to do, etc. And earlier we never had this much of dietitian or nutrition who is having somebody as a consultant who will help you, and not a fashion designer as a consultant for you, a business coach, a financial coach. And now if you see around every single individual, in future there will be at least 15 to 20 different coaches for various purpose in their life. They will hire them as a freelancer, or they'll take their coaching courses, books, whatever it is. But people will learn from 20, 30 different people for different sections and different purposes in their life. Which means what? We have crores and crores of people in India, and everybody needs this. And training and coaching industry, what we have right now is not even 1%. It is going to explode, and the next 10 years is going to be amazing for all those coaches who are just getting into this industry right now.
In fact, Guna, this when you spoke about all this, and it got me one flash. Even Bill Gates had a mentor, Warren Buffett.
Exactly.
Amazing. I mean, one of the most successful guy on the earth had a mentor in Warren Buffett. If you take the best athletes in the world, you take our cricket team, they have a coach. It's not that Kohli doesn't know how to bat or Bumrah doesn't know how to bowl. They need a perspective from outside to help them, guide them, keep them motivated. That's what coaches are going to be. I mean, um, I feel so proud at times, Guna, for being in TLC, because the kind of hand holding that we do and the sounding board that members behave as for each other. Like I can go and talk to Preeti or you and come and say, hey, I've made some program. Can you help me with that? And
Exactly.
this is the kind of culture that we've set in TLC, which makes me so proud. And I feel I'm at the right time, right place. I've started my coaching in the business and I'm learning from you all stalwarts, including Guru Murli, who's always there 24/7. And
Nimish,
you
you
know,
said trainers will, coaches will coach, guide, etc. But one thing which I see why everybody will hire a coach in future, and even now why people are hiring coaches, to keep them accountable, which is
correct.
not possible by yourself. Whoever you are, whatever it is, if you have a dietitian who's going to question, hey, what you had today, and I think you have taken more calories than what I was suggested for you, and like this is how they're going to keep you accountable for anything and everything. And a financial coach is going to tell you, hey, this is not a right investment which you're doing right now. Hold on, come on, why are you doing this? And a business coach is going to just tell you, hey, why are you increasing your overheads? You need to stop here. So all of them keep us accountable, and that's the reason the future of this coaching and
You
training
know,
industry is going to
in a
exist.
very tangential manner, if you look at it, most of the people know what is mutual fund. And when you want to do savings and get into the shares and you don't know how to buy shares, you buy mutual fund. Why? Again, he's indirectly a coach to us. He himself is buying for us and telling us what should be bought and what should be sold. Guna, one final question here. You spoke right at the beginning that you have a Tamil mastermind group, you being based at Chennai and Tamil. A lot of people have asked me, I'm from Gujarat, born and brought up in Mumbai, but my roots are in Gujarat. And a lot of people ask me, Ke, I'm not very comfortable talking in English. I may talk in Hindi, I may talk in Gujarati, or I may talk in Tamil. And since you have a vernacular mastermind group with you for now a couple of years, what is your experience with that? And what is the future for this kind of masterminds to happen in different states in their own language?
Though I was doing to training coaching, most of my trainings, especially when I started online, it was all in English. And I thought I should do something in Tamil because I see a lot of people are actually craving for learning, but not everybody is comfortable learning in English. It is not that they don't understand English, they understand very well, but still, when it is taught in the native language, the way they receive it, the way they take action, the way they progress is phenomenal. And that is why it is very important for us also to focus on regional. It is not that only in English you can become a coach. And a lot of people think that, but if I focus on my regional language, I have very limited people. Only they are going to come. And I will tell you that itself is a great market. And now we have coaches in who can teach in English. You have hundreds, thousands, and lakhs of coaches. But if you actually go and check in your regional language, for every domain, we have very few. In certain domains, there are no coaches at all. This is the market gap which is already there for all those coaches who are getting into coaching business. Plan something in the regional language also. Whatever is your niche, whatever is your domain, you are going to do in English, just go ahead. That is absolutely fine. But do something for your native language also, because people love to learn in the native language. The way they connect, the way they receive the information is phenomenal. Because
Even the
I'm saying,
bonding, I think, the bonding that happens in your mother tongue is totally different. It's like uncle and kaka and tai and akka and what we call. We have more love and closeness when you come to the one act medium. So I take it from you that even though you learn in English and you may become a coach and do practice as a English coach, always look at the vernacular, your mother tongue language, because that's a great market actually. And this, I don't think any other coaching industry, many other masterminds actually teach you this and tell you to master it. I think we are that way, so different. And anything else that, as in wisdom, I mean, one final, absolute final, Guna, before I actually let you go, because I know we are 8 minutes over, but I thought it will take 8:45, 45 minutes I was looking at. The one advice that you got right at the beginning when you started as a coach, that really changed your life? If you can give it to all those aspiring and existing coaches who are listening to us, that one advice that really changed your life.
Quite a few advices I've already shared when I shared the lessons and things, but
No,
mistake.
what you received from somebody.
One I meant to mention one advice which was very strong was from Blair Singer, one of the mentors, one of the coaches, and I attended a live session in Chennai, I think in 2015. One thing he mentioned actually changed the way I look at business or coaching or whatever it is. He said, selling is helping. Selling is helping. If you're selling, you're helping someone. That message actually opened up my mind, because I was also not very comfortable in selling or marketing before that. But that message, I received it so strongly that I understood selling is helping. You're helping someone. It's okay. It's okay to sell. That message, that one advice is very powerful. That is something which I would like to mention when you asked. One more advice out of all that I mentioned. This is what
Again,
comes to mind.
I get a funny ideas in my mind when I listen to all the serious topics, because I've been taught by my guru that, make it little funny, people really understand that. I was thinking when you said that selling is helping, I said, what if Zoom had not sold me this app? Would I have been able to do this meeting today?
Definitely not.
What if Mark Zuber had not sold me the FB idea and I had not become member on Facebook? Would I be watching this video today? So selling is helping. It's so easy then to correlate.
In fact, I'm happy that many coaches and trainers had some courses and they sold some books, some audio, podcast, etc. Because that is what helped me to learn from them, and now I'm helping others. So it is helping me as a customer on the other side. Yes, it is. They've helped me. That's what I should say. And it's my gratitude to all the mentors, my mentors, Mr. Surendran, Mr. Praveen, Mr. Murli Sundram, and all the other coaches and trainers who really helped me. They've really helped me. That's what I should say here.
And with that, Guna, thank you very much for giving me time, for coming to on this TLC Coach Talks. Very sincere and humble gratitude for doing this and giving so much small nuggets and nice advice to so many people who's watching today, who will watch in future, because it's going to remain on FB and on our YouTube channel. And I can't close this talk without giving my gratitude to Guru Murli for creating this platform and helping so many coaches like us to become even more effective coaches, so that we can impact more lives and make more coaches, and they can make effect to more lives. So thank you, Guru Murli Sundaram. Thank you, Guna, finally, for giving me this time. And let's catch up some more time again if it's possible.
Thank you. Thank you.